Local YouTuber in training, Mishima Miyu here. I'm sorry this is my second video in a row, which has missed my intended schedule. I'm certainly going to try harder to avoid this in the future, but as a trainee, these sort of delays are to be expected. I still have many obstacles to overcome. I discovered this week that despite making several videos already, I can still become totally paralyzed by stage fright. I get everything set up to record, I press the record button, but the slightest thing can still turn me into a completely silent lump of stone. The door can rattle, the phone ring, or even an ambulance drive past with the sirens blazing. I've got no control over most of these, and they just make me worry whether my microphone has picked them up or not. I'm convinced it will, and that creates anxiety-based procrastination, because I'm always trying to find that one moment in time where there's no external sound, but it doesn't exist. So I build myself up and up and up to get ready to record, and, well, I just end up deflating. I get nowhere. One problem is that when I make my room as silent as I can, I become very self-conscious and embarrassed at the thought of someone hearing me. It's totally silly, and something that a virtual YouTuber in training really shouldn't be worrying about. But that is also one of the reasons for me doing this in the first place. I'd rather attempt to beat my stage fright and get comfortable with making videos than stay on my current path of becoming a virtual shut-in. Well, nobody watches those, right? And the microphone I use is very sensitive to sound. That's a problem with omnidirectional mics, and it's one I can't really deal with at this moment. One thought, you see, was to put on music or TV at a low volume to help me make myself feel more comfortable and to, get rid of the silence. But the mic doesn't let me do that. More important than being comfortable, however, is that I also discovered my microphone recorded button presses while playing a game. This is why there's no gameplay video this week. I recorded an hour or so, and really didn't like the constant sound of the buttons that I found when playing it back. As I've said before, I'm not happy with the sound of my voice, and I've been altering it on the fly with some software. This means the button presses are altered in the same manner, and that makes their sound very off-putting. To combat this, I will be trying a new microphone specifically for when I record gameplay. I can't guarantee it will eliminate all the button sounds, but hopefully it will remove many of them. I'm sure some of the more popular virtual YouTubers deal with this by putting their comments over pre-recorded gameplay. Or maybe they have a studio setup that allows them to better isolate the various sounds. But I have no desire to do the first, and currently no funding for the second. I also want to talk about screen layouts. I can't call myself a virtual YouTuber if I don't have an on-screen presence. Trying to find a good on-screen location, however, to place myself, can be a puzzle in its own right. For example, with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, one of the first games I'd like to share with you. There is a surprising amount of information displayed via UI elements in Odyssey. As you can see from this selection of pre-recorded clips, no matter where I place myself on screen, I will obscure a UI element. When placed in the bottom right, are obscure location names and the bounty hunter meter. Further up the right side, and I'll cover up loot drop information, and so on. The left side is no better. If I position myself towards the bottom, to avoid covering up special move indicators, I cover up location information. At the top, I'd cover up mission objectives and the like. I have opted to use a sidebar approach for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This way, I can be positioned towards the bottom left and not cover up anything. For other games, I'll be trying different positions without a sidebar to see what works best in those cases. I initially had some worry over what to do with cutscenes and loading screens too, but before making this video, I made up my mind. I'm not going to worry about my being on screen obscuring something during a cutscene. There are other options out there for viewing them unhindered, such as playing yourself, and I recommend you do, as I'd love to hear about your own adventures. For loading screens, I will be cutting them out unless I'm still talking. Okay, that's all for today. I'm going to get my first gameplay video up in the next few days, whether it has button clicks or not. Bye bye.